So is the Earth round or flat?
Round. Well, technically spherical, but you were saying?
In recent times, there seems to be an upsurge in the number of people claiming that the Earth is flat.
Right, so the flat Earth movement is growing rapidly, apparently. Okay, let's just stop that narrative right there, shall we? Rapidly? No. Loudly? Maybe.
So the idea of space travel is pretty pathetic. The idea of deep space is certainly debunked.
It is flat, stationary.
As opposed to round and wobbly. Boobs.
Mama!
I'm confused already. Is Ken Ham a flat earther as well as a young Earth creationist or not? Let's find out, shall we?
Shut up and sit down, you big bald f***.
Please subscribe.
Now, there are even some Christians that claim the Earth is flat, and they try to use Scripture to justify that. By the way, just as an aside, you could use Scripture to justify anything if you take it out of context and interpret it the wrong way.
No, really?
Oh, the irony! It's too much!
Now let me get this straight. You're saying that people who believe the Earth is flat are taking sacred text out of context and then using it to dismiss literally centuries of observational science, geology, physics, and basic common sense, and you're saying that you can justify anything if you start with a faulty premise and then completely ignore the entire universe? Where have I heard that before? Got it. That's a perfect description of believing that the Earth is only 6,000 years old, Kenneth.
God gave me a brain. God gave me a conscience. God gave me all these things to use.
So why have you chosen not to use any of those things then? Because if you had, then you wouldn't be a flat earther in the first place.
I mean, various cults use Scripture all the time to try to justify their false teaching. So we have to be very careful handling Scripture. I've had people say to me, well, the Bible talks about the four corners of the earth. We read that in Revelation and Isaiah about the four corners. But actually, when you understand what it's saying there, it's talking about the four quarters of the earth, actually. And we're talking about north, south, east, west. That's not saying it's, a flat earth. It's a rectangle or square or something like that.
Well, I never thought I would see the day where something a young Earth creationist said made perfect sense. And it's interesting that you referred to other religion as cults, Ken. What makes creationism not a cult then? I mean, you're happy to switch from corners to quarters to save the Bible from the embarrassment of contradicting a globe, which is a good thing, but you refuse to switch day to era to save it from contradicting geology.
Besides, you have passages, for instance, like he sits on the circle of the earth. Well, that certainly seems to imply that the earth is a circle or it's round, but it's not ultimate proof.
The only thing that the Bible proves is that people really will believe anything. Ken, you are a biblical literalist.
We believe the Bible is the inspired, inerrant word of the living God. God believed, cover to cover, flawless, perfect, okay?
Not a doctor.
Who has to stop being a literalist to try and debunk flat earth, only to become a literalist again to maintain a 6,000-year timeline for the age of the earth. You're just picking and choosing which science gets dismissed and which metaphor gets corrected. You're telling the flat earthers that their denial is ridiculous because they ignore facts, while simultaneously ignoring billions of facts yourself when it comes to the age of the earth.
And we have an astronomer at Answers in Genesis, Dr. Danny Faulkner, who has written even a large book dealing with the flat earth and talking about the scientific issues as well as the biblical issues.
Well, that was a waste of a doctorate then, wasn't it? Here's the problem though. You only believe in the parts of astronomy that don't contradict your biblical timeline. That poor Dr. Faulkner, the astronomer, is given a telescope and the entire majestic mind-bending universe and then told by somebody like you, okay, great, now you have to do all your calculations, all your stellar dating, all your distance measurements, all your cosmology, but it all has to fit neatly into a 6,000-year-old box. Oh yeah, and also, the light that you're seeing from millions of years away, it got here yesterday, so figure it out.
and believing the earth is flat because you're going to make up an explanation to explain this away. I mean, you asked for evidence and I gave it to you, but you're not willing to accept the evidence when I give it to you.
I mean, they're on an absolute roll with the cell phones today. He's trying to call out flat earthers for their intellectual dishonesty, but every word he says is a perfect mirror for the young Earth Creationist mindset. Now, you ask a flat earther for proof, and they'll give you a flimsy piece of pseudo-scientific information about light refraction, or maybe they'll just say that NASA faked it. Obviously. But you, the rational thinker, give them real evidence, maybe pictures from space or observable curvature. And what do? They just go, nope, that's just the lens trick. That's just atmospheric density. They make up an explanation to explain the evidence away. And yet that is precisely what the 6,000-year timeline requires you do when faced with any field of scientific inquiry. But ask a young Earth Creationist, hey, why does this volcanic rock date to 4.5 billion years using multiple different methods? And they'll probably tell you something like,
yeah, well, radiometric dating is based on fallible assumptions about the past, or God created the rocks with the appearance of age, or
something smart like that.
You know, to me, I like to say, is there any observational science to confirm that the Earth is round?
Well, put it like this, there's a lot more evidence for the Earth being round than there is for it only being 6,000 years old. And Ken, you're just teeing these up for me. You've asked, is there any observational science to confirm the Earth is round? And the entire living, breathing world all screamed in unison, yes. Look at a boat going over the horizon. Look at a shadow. Look at a sunset. That's all observational science. But given the fact that you think the Earth is only 6,000 years old, I won't hold my breath while you check. I do wonder, though, what happens the second science asks you the same question about your timeline? Is there any observational science to confirm the Earth is only 6,000 years old? I wonder what you say when you get asked that question.
Observational? What does that mean? Well, historical science is knowledge about the past when you weren't there, like the belief in evolution and so on.
What? What do you mean evolution isn't real because nobody saw it happen? Evolution is happening today, all the time, everywhere. But it does raise a question. Who witnessed God creating the Earth? Because if you're going to hold us to that high standard of evidence, well, it's not really evidence, is it? Just saying something stupid like,
it's not real because you weren't there to see it.
Well, neither were you. So what makes your version more plausible than ours?
Observational science means using your five senses in the present. Can we somehow prove that the Earth is round? Well, there is a way.
Oh, great, here we go. Bring on the intellectual gymnastics.
I personally know 3 Christian astronauts.
Well, bully for you, but why have they got to be Christian astronauts? Why not just astronauts?
And those Christian astronauts are Barry or Butch Wilmore, Charlie Duke. Now, Charlie Duke was the youngest astronaut to ever walk on the moon, and then Jeff Williams. And they've all been on the space station, up in space, or on the space shuttle. One of them's been on the moon. And I have asked each of those 3 astronauts, when you look back at the Earth, is it round or flat? And they all say,
what a stupid question. No? Okay, fair enough. But you know what? That's fantastic. You've got a personal eyewitness testimony from 3 incredible men that the Earth is round. That means you've successfully debunked the flat Earth position. Congratulations, Kenny boy. You've passed the first grade science quiz. But here's where the wheels come off your young Earth Creationist clown car. You see, those 3 Christian astronauts, Barry Wilmore, Charlie Duke, Jeff Williams, they don't just believe that the Earth is round, they've seen for themselves that it is. They also accept all of the physics, geology and astronomy that gets you into space in the first place. And that science, the same science that puts them in the space station and lets them look back at the big blue marble, says that the Earth is 4.5 billion years old. You've got this brilliant, factual, scientific truth staring you right in the face that the Earth is a sphere, which you clearly believe, but you stop believing the moment that exact same data set tells you about the Earth's age.
Just like the moon is round, just like the other planets are all round, the Earth is no different. And actually, I have seen video taken from the space station by Barry Wilmore. He has sent video clips to me, and I've seen his photographs. But in the video, you can watch as he's in the space station, and you can see the Earth spinning around, and you can see that it is round. It is a sphere.
Well done. You've nailed it. Earth and all the other planets around. We've got video evidence from space. We've now got the testimony of 3 Christian astronauts. And we've got the full, unambiguous consensus of every science known to man. Case closed for flat earthers. It's ridiculous. Now, if only young Earth creationists like yourself, Mr. Ham, would extend that same level of faith, the same belief in validated observable reality. You're celebrating a proof that kills one piece of nonsense while completely ignoring the proof that kills your own. Look, Ken, it's simple. The same evidence that proves the Earth is not flat also proves that the Earth isn't 6,000 years old. If you accept the astronauts' word that Earth is a sphere, I assume because they're Christian, then you have to accept the geologist's word that the Earth is ancient. Go looking for a Christian geologist, I'm sure there's one. Anything else is just admitting that you're only willing to fight nonsense when it's not your own nonsense.
And from the moon, the Earth is a sphere in space. That's observational science. So what has happened when I've even said to some flat earthers, I know 3 Christian astronauts who will testify to the fact that when they've been in space, looking back at Earth, it is a sphere, it is not flat. I'm shocked at the answer sometimes. I've had them say to me, well, they lied.
So you're shocked that flat earthers use the "they lied" claim to dismiss the shape of the Earth, yet your entire ministry is built on inventing an explanation to dismiss the age of the Earth.
Oh, you're a liar.
You dismiss all evidence as fallible assumptions about the past, but you've basically just told every geologist and physicist on Earth that they lied. You just swap lied for a dozen excuses about changing decay rates or light speed. The effect is identical. You can't be shocked by one group's refusal to accept reality while you're standing right next to them using the exact same logical fallacy to defend a different kind of nonsense.
How can people deny such clear reality?
Ken, you should be answering that question, not asking it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you again on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Love you. Bye.
Out of everything that's on the internet, this is the best thing.
Did you know koi fish always travel in groups of 4, so that if they're attacked, fishes A, B and C will scatter, and the 4th fish is the decoy?
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never